Okay, this one's going to be an interesting game because it's a Celestial 1 VOD review. And now uh the thing about games like this is they're going to be much harder to do a VOD review for because of the fact that people in this rank are going to punish the slightest mistake and slightest step out of position possible. So, there's not gonna be as much, I feel, to critique. There's gonna be a few things, but it's not gonna be like the other VOD reviews. But here you play Starlord, and I know that you had said that you played support and you feel like you got boosted because it's like you played like support as your main role, and so but honestly, like watching your Starlord, I don't think you're boosted by any means. I think there's a couple of things you could keep in mind, but I don't think you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So here you're attacking the Magneto, which is fine. Like right here, this is you're charging your ult and the payload is pushing. I'd be careful peeking out in the main. But what I would notice here is first take a look at like their enemy team composition. Like after the game starts and you can see what the enemies are playing. Because of the fact that they have a Moon Knight and you have vertical mobility, I would not be standing anywhere near your teams or on the ground if I could avoid it. I would be trying to find like a higher angle because of the people who's a threat to you, realistically, only this guy is the major threat to you. But this one should be easy picking. So this one should basically be your target. And if you've seen my other, videos and stuff like that, like in these games, the moment that one person falls over, then the whole team starts to fall over. So if I could just bully this guy the entire game, that's what I would be doing. But right now, while the payload is moving, this is like fine. Standing behind cover. You see how like they're standing behind cover here and how they stand still and they get healed and they rotate. This is for anybody who's watching. There's the rotations where you rotate when it's safe. You push them back as the objective is moving, and as the objective is moving, they rotate with it. Now, they're all pushed back right here. Magneto is here. Me personally, I feel like this location is really safe. I would have jumped behind the Magneto and just been shooting him in the back. But instead you back up here into the Ankh. Like, but here, like all of this is covered. Like they're all backed up right here. None of them have any sort of mobility other than Venom, and Venom's not going to blow you up. Plus, you had a med pack here. And nobody else would have been able to see you. You would have been able to shoot Magneto in the back and push him backwards. So here you get behind cover, you stay alive, but like, imagine if you had done this sooner, because look how he immediately backs up at the threat of you. Here you go up, and I like this positioning because of the fact that you are very close to your ultimate. So, shoot this one. That worked out, though. Shoot that one. Yep. Go back to him. Find him. Well, no, you're right. I didn't see. I get confused watching the replays back because it's harder to tell like your ally ults versus like the enemy ults. But yeah, no, that was the right play because you were standing in your own healing thing. Moon Knight. Yep, clean up here. I remember like when I was watching this through an offense, I was like, wow, you actually had a really good offense. Like, that's a good stagger. I don't know why they were there. They should have just died sooner. Like, they knew that fight was over. That's good. You can pressure them. Okay, so you go back here, and I don't think I would have done that because now they switch to Black Panther and Moon Knight, and they have Rocket and Invisible Woman and Cloak. Like when you do that, when you take a look at like the enemy team composition, look to see like who's a threat and where. Because like right here, none of them have any sort of vertical mobility to deal with you, and it's very strange that they went with these two DPS heroes. Because if you just stayed up here on the rooftops and shooting, I'm pretty sure I need to play more Starlord, but like Starlord's range is pretty darn good. This is good because you blow the support ult and you get the rocket. That was fantastic. You have huge advantage. They kill your Jeff, so it's tied. I heard magic ult, which means whoever she's attacking is who I'm attacking with her. Everybody's following up. Magic's doing well on her own. I would have pressed E as well, thinking that's where she was going to go. Everybody played really aggressive as soon as Magic ulted, and that was exactly the play. Everything so far has been pretty good, other than that like one time where I would have like rotated where the Magneto was. Like, I don't want to stand near group. This is a good angle. Yep. Once again, like I personally, it would be an aggressive angle, but I like this spot over here because who's going to chase you, or who's a threat to you that you would be afraid to play aggressive? That's a good kill. I would immediately target his ass. Yep. Good job staying alive. Your team is backing up from the Black Panther, I guess? I missed what happened there. Was it the It's funny how like when I'm playing in game and I'm watching VOD reviews, it's a very different feeling. When I'm playing in game, it feels like everything is like much slower. I'm tracking like who dies a lot easier in my own games. You lost the support and you lost magic, so yeah, so you were down by 2. So that's the reason why we lost space. The tank wants you to shoot him, by the way. That's better.
Oh, did you see that?
Yep. I would have waited a second for that bubble to go away because she had already used it. But she uses her ult. You get out, you stay alive. You're playing defensively and giving up space for a second, which is good. Really good timing on the ult and really good prioritization on the rocket at the back. Jeff gets a fat ult. And cleanup. The fact that you saw Rocket and he was basically free because of how far away he was from his team, like, even though they had Invisible Woman ult there, I don't know if she just died too quickly or if she just decided not to use it, but like, there was no way for Rocket to get anywhere near Invisible Woman in order to get saved by the ult in case she did use it. So the fact that you capitalized on that by ulting him, like, was 100% worth. I remember watching your offense. Your offense was really good. This is good. Oh, they have a Hela. That's unfortunate for you. You're playing a little aggressive, which is okay, as long as you're staying alive. That Hela's like off-angling is really annoying. She should kind of be dealt with, especially because she's alone. The right click to dodge it, which is nice. The payload is still moving. Everybody wants to take the fight. Yeah. During this time, personally, what I would have done... Rocket ulted, which is a big damage increase. I personally would have played a little bit more passively and defensively, and grouping up right here is really bad for that Moon Knight. Magic has a good idea coming from the side here, but everybody being so clumped up together, you know, they don't, once again, they don't have a lot of vertical mobility, and I personally would have played it a little bit more aggressive and maybe tried to take like different angles away, because no one on this team is going to jump on you. If anyone's going to hit you, it's either going to be Moon Knight who's going to hit you because you're grouped up, or it's going to be Hela who sees you out in the open. So I would personally be putting myself into a position in which I can apply pressure and do so safely. And to me, this area looks like the safest place to be, like over behind on the right here to the side of this rock. Because right now, she casts her ult, there's a damage boost in here, so now they have infinite sustain and 40% increased damage, and you have 0 cover. Like, pressing E and this in her ultimate isn't going to do anything. So I would have literally been ducked behind that rock and kind of like playing back and forth and waiting, because now Once you die, your team gets another death. That was a wasted Moon Knight ult, which is lucky. A good poke. Yeah. There's a lot of, that's a little bit of like wasted movement. Like right here, it doesn't seem like you're too sure where you want to be, or where you want to set up, or who you want to contest. Moon Knight got a pick, but you guys got a pick on the tank, which is good. I would get up. This is a ballsy play, but I'm not against it. Nice, good work. It was ballsy when you're trying to make a play, getting a health pack, but it all worked out in the end. Sometimes you just got to take a chance if you think you can confidently secure it. Okay, let's look at why that didn't work. But here, like, look at, I want you to see why this actually worked on this Moon Knight here, right? Hella is scary, because, like, look at that damage that she's hitting you with. Hella scares me. But after getting a pick on Magneto, which was really good, this is really ballsy because of the fact that, like, you have super low health, but at the same time, even with super low health and a bit of a disadvantage, look at how easily you can just absolutely shred through a Moon Knight as Starlord. Like, you had a health disadvantage, but because you rushed Moon Knight, you were easily able to execute him and get out. And you grab the health. You come back and you have your ult, which is good. Here, you ult out in the open, and you have less than half your health, and I'm not sure if you lost teammates in that. Yeah, you still have a support there, but, like, look at how kinda, like, out in the open you are. Imagine if you had ulted at this corner first. Like, if you had flown up and you were using this to block the LOS of these people, and you solo ulted this person, and then the moment that this person dies, you use your right click to go around the edge and then kill this person. This is the only person who should scare the crap out of you, right? Everybody else is kind of like a, free damage for you, free pick. So if you position yourself to be basically who can you attack where you're out of the LOS of the Hela, but everybody else is in your LOS. Does that make sense? Because Rocket's not going to do anything to you. Moon Knight's not going to do anything to you. Magneto is not going to do anything to you. Like, nobody's going to hurt you except for this crazy one. Good pick. She was way out of position. That's a good wall. Right click. Oh, wait, did you not have any? The moon. Oh, it says right click, but it says one got used, but she died anyway. That's interesting. Because, yeah, I know you get iframes from that, so that's interesting. But it's whatever. It resets. You just reset and go back in. Oh, that is a death. So you wait. In ranks like this, for everyone else, not for nbsy, by the way, for all the other players who are watching this, like, when you lose one person, that quickly at the start, it's literally just like you have to play super slow and super passive in order to wait for them to come back, because you're not going to be able to push into 6 without them. You see everyone's just like playing around cover and like trying to stay alive. But also, you see how you almost die there because like you're near your teammates. Okay, now shoot at him, which is good. Where's the Hela? Keep that in mind. Applying pressure, which is good. Magic's on that, and she's covering that angle. So this is her covering this space up here. She's pressuring from this side. Groot is covering this main area here. Where can we go that would give us more value? Because we're getting poked out by Moon Knight here. This is good. No, take the fight with Moon Knight. I think he... It was really hard to see, like, I'm sure, like, in the moment, but... Moon Knight uses an Ankh. There's the Ankh. If he uses the Ankh, that means he doesn't have another one for, was it 8 seconds or so? So he's not going to be able to do anything. His Ankh is down. Hela is here. Rocket leaves him. I feel like now is the time to unload a clip if you can, or hit an E. Hela was looking at you too. It might not have been a bad idea to escape. Here, you're walking out again instead of being back here. Like, you had a good position over here, and now you're walking out into like the range of the LOS of the Hela. And you could have been sitting back behind this wall and just shooting Magneto in the back, and it would have pushed him back. Your range is good enough that you don't need to get that close. You could have been standing right here and just shooting him in the back, and that would have been enough pressure to push him backwards. Is that yours or theirs? That is theirs. 1 down, 2 down, reset. Everybody leave. 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 Yeah. Not much you could do there. After 2 die, it's done. It's hard enough to win a fight in a 5v6. It's like impossible to win one in a 4v6 at this rank. I like that you saw the Hela and immediately right-clicked to get to cover. You don't wait until you possibly are low. You're like, no, I just want to get out of that LS. So right now you need to get out though, because you're all grouped up and there's a Moon Knight in the enemy team. This is a really, that was a really ballsy Starlord ult, because I wasn't even sure, I think, necessarily where everybody's location was. But you blew the support ult, which is good. And then you saw 2 people who were out. 3 people? 3 people who were out of the LOS of the, or out of the range of the enemy support ult, which ended up working out really, really well in your favor. I don't know if you knew that's where they were all were, or if that was like, I don't know, it just kind of like worked out. But yeah, that was actually a really good ult. And you know, when Hela ults in Celestial and everybody just turns and just blows her up. Press E. Oh, no, you don't have it yet. Yep. Look how fast you shred that guy, though, right? Like, you absolutely destroy this poor man over and over again. That's why, for me, I would be looking to see who I can bully the entire game, right? Like, personally, like, if I'm playing Psylocke, I've realized that I struggle against good Buckies, good Winter Soldiers. So I don't usually like to pick a fight with him, and I don't like to put myself in situations where he's looking at me, because of the fact that, like, with his E and his uppercut, like, he has a crap ton of sustain, and that doesn't do well with me. So what I will try to do is I'll try to find the next weakest link that I can attack. Like, who can I target where I can do so safely? I can apply pressure, I can build my ult, and then I can, you know, use that on him later. But I don't try to pick a fight with the people that I can't win against. I try to pick on the people who are weakest to me. And like you actually are like a very solid Starlord. Like I know you said you got here by playing support, but you actually are a very solid DPS player. Right there. Punish. He used an Ankh and now he's immediately weak. Don't waste time going all the way back. You're already near the LOS of your teammates. You could probably just stay up there and ping, I need healing, and then you would have gotten healed. It would charge their support ults, and at the same time, like, you wouldn't have to go back as far. Go to the high ground. Better. There's a Moon Knight right to your left. Yep. That one, I'm just going to say right now, like, I noticed him right here, and I'm just going to say that I've done the same thing before, where all of a sudden there's like this perfect play. You should have gone for it, and like your brain just suddenly turns off for a moment, and you just do something where you end up dying for it, and you're like, I don't know what happened. Like I should have known that was going to happen and work out that way. But yeah, here you get a little too tunnel vision, or you get too much in the idea of just like, oh, I'm gonna go and press E and just like do some damage and like get out, but you get blown up for it. Because I guess Punisher got you, but you were in a great position to attack that Moon Knight. Because once again, like, that's who you should be looking at over and over again. You get up there, because like right here, Punisher, you know, you can see is set up there. You have your E, you have a Moon Knight right here. I would have unloaded a clip on top of him and then, like, got him down to, like, half health, right-clicked into him, and then E'd on top of his head, and as I'm E'ing and, like, doing damage to him, I would have pushed myself into position behind the cover up here. Like, part of the way that I play personally is I'm always thinking to myself, sort of like, not just like where I'm going to go, but like who can see me. And I know from right here, even though Punisher's not on the screen, I know he's to my right. And so I'm too much out in the open. So I'm always trying to think of how I can attack that one person and not be seen by everyone else. Right here, too much of stuff is going on. Maybe Magneto was supposed to bubble you and he like failed. I'm not sure, but yeah, that to me was like a free pick right there. And now, to be fair, you were not the first to die.
No stopping the Starlord.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
And I will say that, like, as someone who played a crap ton of Overwatch, it, for those who did play Tracer or didn't, or those who, I don't know how to explain this. If you didn't play Tracer, there was two ways to play that character. She was either an annoying assassin, or she was someone who could play an off-angle, suppressive, um, brawler, dueler sort of a thing that would help pull out abilities and pull out cooldowns and pressure the tank in the front line. Uh, Psylocke plays like the tracer that was the assassin in old school Overwatch, and Starlord plays a lot like the new off-angle brawler, kind of like take those like slightly different positions because he has so much mobility that he can really put himself in a lot of very beneficial areas, and he can use his right click for iframes to get himself out of bad scenarios. So right there, good targeting, but like right here, you're a little too close with like your team. Yep, get to the high ground. Oh yeah. You can get health. There's a lot of stuff action going on right now, and um, I'm not sure it matters. You're down by 2, so you kind of have to make a play. This is good though. I don't think the E is I don't think the E is a very good ability unless you can use it to like maybe like get like an execute on someone. Unless I have seen people like jump in and use it early, but that's only with their full team up. You already have a bunch of people down, so at this point it's just like if the fight's over, you got to reset. Grabbing the health, which is good. Poke, get the ult charge, and like right here, once again, like who's a threat to you, right? Nobody can hit you except for this fool, right? So I would try to figure out what Star-Lord's max range is and try and memorize that or get a muscle memory down for it so you can always play within that range. Because everyone else is like everyone on this team other than Punisher is sort of easy pickings for you. There you go. Move to the next point. Move to the team. Yep, Omni-Man. You're paying attention? Oh, yeah. Can you right-click after you get onked, or maybe it's like... Okay, so when you die to this stuff, this is similar to what I talk about with, like, Bucky. If he's looking at you, he's going to throw a hook. If Moon Knight's looking at you, he's going to onk. So the moment that you see him and he looks at you, right-click. Predict it before it happens instead of after the fact. Don't wait to take damage first. Predict when he's going to do it, and you'll save yourself the hassle. Because just like Tracer blinks, Star-Lord's right-click is just like a quick mobility, and for him it gives him iframes. Like, use it to predict. Like, if they're looking at you, like, maybe right-click. This one might just be cloak things. I've learned as someone who got who was absolutely getting like beaten down by a good Starlord one day that Scarlet Witch and Cloak's damage form is absolutely brutal to deal with a Starlord. So if you're ever struggling in a game and there's a Starlord just shutting you down, play Scarlet Witch and mark the dude the entire game. There's nothing that they can do. Because you see why, like right here. You shoot at her, and the moment that she drops her heal thing, it's time to leave. It would be right click city for me, especially given the fact that like your teammates are dead and it's just you, you're not going to do enough damage to kill through this bubble. You pull the resources out and then you leave, and then when it's down, then you can try and re-engage. But here, yeah. Even if you, I mean, like, I think you might have been able to live if you double right clicked and like use your jet boot thingies to get away, but I'm not even sure. It was limit testing right there. Find the Moon Knight. Only threat is to your right. Kill him. And then you leave him. Yeah, I think you could have killed him. Okay, so it's a numbers game, right? So you only need to secure 1 kill, and you give your team a huge advantage. They're all within the bubble. If you enter into that bubble, your movement is slowed. If you right-click to the side and just go lower, you can see the Punisher, and you never lose LOS of him. He doesn't have any cover here. But you right-click back into the team, and then you get, I think you're getting pushed around by the Invisible Woman ult and stuff too, so then they just jump on you for it. If you're going to go for the aggressive play, I would have gone for the aggressive play on the Punisher, or I would have blown the support ultimate and gotten back out. Because like right here, you're out in the open and you have 0 cover. You have no backup strategy. So at this point, your supports are probably pumping heals into you, trying to keep you alive. But at some point, you're going to take too much damage and you're going to drop. So there's two possible solutions right there, which is either hard commit to the Punisher and trying to kill him, or see the support ultimate and say that you've done your job in pulling out a support ult, back up, and then continue to fight with your team.
Can't keep me down for long.
Yep. Woo! Good escape.
Much better.
No cover. Standing near teammates.
Sweet moves, right?
Yeah, good target prioritization. Shoot the person at the back. You're shooting in the group, not the person at the back. This person. Pumping damage into here, like, you see her, like, tossing out heals, you're just giving them ult charge for their support ults. I like that playing around that cover, though. Her. Get out of the Moon Knight ult. Yep. A little out in the open there. So much going on right now. This is Marvel Rivals at its peak. There you go. Their target priority was good. Nice. You don't kill anything in this ult, and if everyone's inside of it, you just get out. You have the advantage. Like, peeking right here is dangerous. It worked out that you survived, but yeah. You need to live right now because your team is down. You still have time to recontest, but you got to, like, live. A lot of stuff happened where I think it just, like, it snowballed out of control, and you guys had trouble sort of regaining that momentum and pushing back against them. So let's look to see, like, I think where things went wrong. We'll do it quickly because I know we already watched all of this, but that is your primary target. He just used an Ankh, which means that ability is down. This is too much downtime when you could have been healed by the supports and charged their ults up. Seems like you were in a safe position. The Moon Knight is wildly out of position. That's where you could have done something about that. And at least, like, because Squirrel World dies here. Oh, wait. You were the first to die. And you died pretty much at the same time. But, like, that could have been a trade where it would have gone from, like, instead of 6v4 to 5v5 if you would have gone for the Moon Knight. But now they have to back up. And they just have to keep retreating. They're doing a good job at staying alive, but they cannot contest the point without you guys. And now Moon Knight has his ult because of the fact that he was alive the whole time, just charging ult off of them, and then got a nice good pick off of everybody. Right here, fight's happening. The fight is happening now. And let's see. Well, I guess like um I guess you lost your support, so you had to go to that health pack. This fight's over. Yeah, you just lost momentum. And what sucks about these games is that that one mistake early basically causes your team to lose the first point right here. That's the crappy part, is that, you know, both you and Squirrel Girl both happen to make a mistake at the same time, which means that the first point's just gone. Here, it happens again. Now they're in a 5v6 or 6v5. And you come back out and they're falling apart. And yeah, the momentum at this point, like everybody just needs to stop. Like, you know, when you see two supports dead, it's time to just leave. Like, you don't even need to go out. Because then this happens and everyone's just been staggering the whole time. And you're charging support ults. Always remember who can see you and where. I think Jeff dies here. He swallowed a bunch, didn't he? No, maybe not. So yeah, because of the fact that that first mistake caused you guys to stagger, then you never fully had a chance to regroup as you were on the flank after you had regrouped, and then Moon Knight got a kill on you, and then they walk through your team again, and then you come back out and you got staggered a little bit more. And then it was just that you haven't had a full team fight since the very beginning at this point. And they've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And then once you're at this point, like this is good right here. This is like, it's good that you're shooting from here because you have the angle. You just have the wrong targets. Because you have easy ways to back up and reload around cover. Yep, good target. Bad target. Not terrible because you're at the... But like, let's say you take that high ground position to that left there. You're within the LOS of your Jeff. You have Invisible Woman who could probably see you and put a shield up there. Like, nobody has fast mobility to dive you or deal anything with you. They'd have to walk at you, and you could take a little bit more aggressive angles in like in this position up here to control this space. Because look, now Punisher's up here controlling this space, and now he sets up a turret. Which, by the way, he has limited range on that, so he can't look down at you. So if you were to shoot up at that turret, find a way to shoot up at the turret, you'd be relatively safe. But that's more of a dangerous area. It works out semi, but you see though, like now you're actually defending. Nothing can happen here. I would have like... Watch, you ult. And as soon as the ult goes up, there's nobody in here that's going to die to your ult. I know because I snuck a peek ahead and looked at the end of the game where you were shooting Starlord ult with inside of the Invisible Woman ult. And even if you focus one target, no one was going to die. So then what you could have done was try to like loop around the backside because you know that like Punisher had died. And see, look at he's out in the open there. I would have gone for him instead. Now everybody's grouped up against a Moon Knight and he's going to throw down an Ankh and do a bunch of damage. He's applying so much pressure that you guys can't walk out. You guys have you're all in this same area. And nobody's like up here or even maybe on this side. This side would be extremely ballsy, but you know, possibly if you after you ulted and they saw the Invisible Woman ult, you knew nothing was going to die, and you flew around to the opposite side and was waiting for the Punisher walking out from spawn because you knew he was the last to die. You might have been able to stall enough time to make sure that he couldn't regroup with his team. I saw that you switched to Punisher here, and I honestly don't think you needed to. I think that your Starlord is good. It's just a matter of just like slight tweaks to your positioning and your target prioritization during the fight. I think maybe you might have switched to this to deal with like group walls or something. Celestial group players, I will say, are scary, but like you had Starlord's a good pick. You just need to, I think, rely on that vertical mobility a little bit more.
Tomatoes, Mass Spectre. Down to 30 seconds.
He's fine-ish. I don't like... Yeah, that's what I was expecting to happen. Because Moon Knight's going to charge us out really, really fast and then just take Q right away, because that's what he does. It's very difficult to charge an ult faster than a Moon Knight.
Nothing yet.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Parts.
And on defense, you go back to Starlord. But you see this like high ground position up here? Like all these different places you can take where you can shoot and they wouldn't be able to see you. They'd have to break the buildings, but even then you can still rotate to other places. And Punisher in the back there is the only one who can hit you. So you got to be thinking to yourself, where can I shoot the enemies from, which they can't hit me? And once again, there's nobody on the enemy team who can dive you. So you could be up on the high ground, and if someone wanted to take a fight up close to you, you win that duel. So lure them into positions where you are safe. But like right now, when you do this, you walk out into the open and you're just pumping damage at each other. I would be trying to find a position in which I could shoot from where I was not taking all of this damage. Like in this room to the left here, I would be over here and pumping damage from the side. And if I got low, I could right click backwards and be within the LOS of my supports here and get healed and then go back and sort of keep peeking around that corner and shooting from this angle. Because like right now, all he has to do from this angle is spam down this choke. And if he accidentally hits you, that's free damage. But if you were on this side here, you could be spamming from the side angle and causing more pressure. Right there. Good, 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 good. Yes. See, like, recognize, you know, how easily you've done that to him all game. Like, I don't know if you knew it at the time, but every time you actually like jumped and took a duel with that Moon Knight, you won. Like, you outclassed him for sure. It's just you had to be brave enough to just go for it every time. But what I wanted you to do when he was up here in this location was exactly what you did right there. Like, you just absolutely destroyed him. Like right now, this is ballsy. Because remember how that's how you died the last time? Right now, everyone's standing around each other, and I don't like that. No cover. You got the group walls. Oh, ballsy. But you see, now you had to take a resource. You had to take a bubble, and now they don't have it. Play defensively. Let your tank stand there. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. Good ult. Good ult. He's going to block all that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where I was like, you could shoot everyone in here, and it's not going to matter, even if you focus. No, 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 no. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. Nope. Prioritize staying alive. Someone else is on point.
Final score.
Honestly, like, you're not a bad DPS by any means. You're actually a very good one. It's just like recognizing who you have the strength over and where you can position yourself to apply that pressure and being a little bit more confident in taking those duels and those picks. Because I see your mechanics and like you're really good at like right there getting in, doing a bunch of damage, and then like escaping and taking your health out. Like you're taking resources, you're making their lives difficult as like you push them back and you come back with your team and regroup. Hella is there. I don't like that she's there uncontested, and it would be dangerous to fight her. But I personally would try to take the duel and see if I could, just to like she'd get off of my team. By the way, for those who don't know, Starlord has iframes on his right click. So even though he's on the ground, he doesn't have to worry about trying to dodge or trying to get up in the air to dodge the Magneto ult, because he nbsy here specifically timed the right click. So even if he did throw it at him, his right click would have dodged it. Starlord's right click is so awesome in the fact that like whoever you're playing against, if you time that right click just right and predict what the enemy is going to do, you could win, like, I feel like almost any duel with any other DPS. But yeah, all grouped up like this, I don't like this position. I would have like gone to the air maybe or gone to the side. Um, use your vertical mobility and try and shoot people where either you're trying to take a duel with this Moon Knight and catch him off guard, or shoot at people where the LO without the LOS of the Hella being able to get you. Because right here, with this up in front and my tank backing away, there's no way I'm walking up there, especially after that support all came out. Like, I'm out. It would have, like, in these situations, if you back up and give them space for 6 seconds and just walk away, like, the moment you saw the rocket ult, if you just back up a little bit and let them have that space and then recontest afterwards, and if they use that ult again and then you back up again and let them have that space, that's 6 sec or that's about like 12 seconds, let's say, of ult time where you're giving up space and you're just healing through their ultimates. But if they don't get any picks, it works out in your favor. But here, let's say, because they use those two ults, let's time it. Let's time it so we know. You die at 317. Let's see the next time you have a 6v6 fight where your whole team is grouped up. It's a third ult.
Oh, sweet moves, right?
Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
Some sort of weird onk thing.
Okay, now are we walking forward? Okay, we're still... Nope. Okay, we'll time it from here because technically now it's a 5v5 and it's not a full 6v6 because the moment you guys were walking out, you lost the scroll girl. But technically speaking, this is an equal fight, so we'll go from here. So now from 317 to 238, that is 40 seconds, right? If you would have, during that time with the Invisible Woman ult and the Rocket ult, backed away and pulled away and played really passively and defensively and just tried to heal through the damage and stood behind group walls, you would have lost 12 seconds worth of time. But and then assuming everyone lived and then re-engaged, and then you would have been able to re-engage at 305 versus 238. So little tiny micro adjustments that I've noticed, because like there's some times when like the support ults are super strong and they have been nerfed in terms of how quickly they've been charged. So that neutral game, the mid game in between the ultimates matters more now. So me personally, when the defensive ults come out, I play really passively and defensively because I know how strong they are at keeping people alive. And if I can't target someone on the outside of those ultimates, then I literally just give them that space for free and I re-engage afterwards. Because yeah, it's too difficult to do anything. But because of the fact that support ults got nerfed so hard, you want to try and get picks in the neutral game, in the mid game when there's no ultimates and stuff going on, which is the reason why I was saying, like, you know, try and find your targets who you can pick on, like the Magneto jumping behind his shield or the Moon Knight and, you know, picking on him specifically because you were destroying him, honestly. Like right here. I like how aggressively you played and went for that pick and got out. And then you get a pick. And you go back up. You lost 2. But way into the LOS of her. And also, like, when you lose 2 like that, I'd be very hesitant on, like, using it all. It's not the worst thing in the world. You definitely could have cleaned up given that they're squishies, but this is a Celestial Hella, and I don't mess with that. I don't have good aim, so I can't play Hella, Hawkeye, or Widow. So when I see one that's really good, it's really hard to kill those people. Like they are scary to me. And I don't mess with them. The only time I attack them is when they're not looking at me. That's the only time I fight them. So yeah, those would be my only notes from this. Overall, though, I like you said, like I was saying earlier, like you said, you're a support. You don't think that you got boost or whatever. I don't think you did. You just need to make some slight tweaks to who you're targeting and when, and having a little bit more confidence to kind of like maneuver around especially the tanks. and recognizing who has mobility. Because like if I wouldn't recommend you like take an aggressive angle, jumping behind Magneto's shield and shooting him in the back if there was an enemy like Psylocke or Black Panther or somebody who had extremely high mobility that could also like deal with you. That might be a little bit more um you might not use more might not do that all the time. But for a non-mobile team like this, I would definitely take aggressive angles, literally just pushing that tank backwards. Because that was the old play style of playing Tracer in Overwatch and Overwatch 2 is like you would blink to one side, shoot the crap out of the tank, and you would just push them backwards and keep doing that, where you'd use your mobility to move around and get to those aggressive angles and just keep peppering him in the back. And even if you didn't kill him, you'd be shooting him so much that he would just be forced to back up because he can't block from two directions. So it would cause a lot of pressure, which would make it easier for your team to walk forward. But but yeah, overall, like really good. There was very few mistakes, and even as I say this stuff, this is all like in theory. I would execute it and tell me if it helps at all. Because yeah, at this rank, the people you're playing up against, like they're not gonna miss as often. They're not gonna make as many mistakes, and even you didn't make that many mistakes. But I think what really got you guys on defense was after the first round, never really fully regrouping until the third point. And I've been there before. I've been in plenty of games like that where we just have to tell everyone like, whoa, everybody just like chill out for a minute. Like, let's have a full team fight of six because you can bring fights back in gold and platinum or even diamond where you're down two and you could possibly make a play to make something happen. But with the higher you climb, the less likely it is that you're going to win a 5v6. So in those situations, like always try to get back to a 6v6 as fast as you can. And if you don't have a 6v6 and you're a 5v6, play super passive. And if it's a 4v6, probably just regroup, I'd say. But otherwise, like, I think you're really good. And I would definitely keep sticking with Starlord. And honestly, like, watching your VOD makes me want to play Starlord. So I hope you take that as a compliment because you made it look really fun. But yeah, hopefully this VOD was helpful. I hope you could take something away from it. I know you are already a fantastic player to reach the ranks that you did. You are not boosted by any means, but yeah, let me know if this was helpful to you because uh, I'd be really curious to see if it helps you improve or if your gameplay gets any better. But yeah, thank you for submitting this one. This one was a really fun one to watch. I don't play enough Starlord, so I kind of want to, and I think I might actually do that today after this. So thank you again for submitting, and thank you for everybody by the way for submitting VOD reviews because this is kind of fun. It also gives me a chance to like learn and improve and do better, and it's also making my own play better. So it's actually beneficial for me as well. So thank you again to everybody, and I'll try to get to some more VOD reviews either today or soon or videos. I don't know in general, but yeah, thank you everybody.